Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Onna Harps and I am going to be reviewing all things reality TV over here. Today I am going to be reviewing 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days Season 5 Episode 10 Time's Up. Okay, the episode opens up with Usman and Kimberly. They had been arguing the night before because Usman refused to sleep with her. Usman lives in Nigeria and Kimberly is from here in the United States, and she's what's known as a super fan. She was invited over to Nigeria to watch Usman make a new music video. So they have separate rooms. And Usman agrees to come, at least sleep in her room, being that she had flown all the way over from the United States to Nigeria. And she was like really pressing him for a relationship, and he didn't want to hurt her feelings. So he gets in the bed, he's fully clothed, and he puts a pillow barrier in between the two of them so that they won't touch. The next morning they get up, Usman is fully clothed. He doesn't touch any water. And that just brings me back to when he was dating baby girl or baby goat Lisa, when she said that Usman was funky. So that's all I can think of whenever I look at Usman. However, Kimberly goes into the bathroom, no water, and she comes out completely clothed. And they decide to go to the beach. So while they're at the beach, Kimberly is still pressing Usman for a relationship. And he was like, we never agreed to having a relationship. So Kimberly told Usman, if you don't meet my brother, and if we don't have sex before I leave Nigeria, then we're over with. So I guess Usman had to change her heart because he knew that his meal ticket was getting ready to walk out the door, because Kimberly has been quite generous to him. She brought over a Mac Pro 10 and what is it called, a PS5 PlayStation. So he didn't want that to stop, so he agreed to sleep with her. So they go back to the room and they Skype Kimberly's son, and then Usman goes back to the bathroom to prepare to have a relationship with Kimberly. And Kimberly, she's laying in the bed, she's all thirsty, she can't wait for him to come out the bathroom. So Usman goes in the bathroom and he puts on a pair of boxer shorts. He also puts on one of those long white robes that's furnished by the hotel. He puts he's bare chested, and he puts on this big dookie chain and sunglasses. I mean, I can agree with the sunglasses because I'm sure that that's not a sight that he wanted to see. But the scene ended with Usman jumping in the bed with Kimberly, and he was on top of Kimberly, and they were under the covers, and the scene just cut off right there, and thank God, because that is something that I definitely did not want to see. The next couple that we're going to talk about is Ella and Johnny. Johnny is over in China. Him and Ella had met online. Okay, we're in the middle of the pandemic right now. Johnny has a ticket to go to, the original agreement was for Johnny to go to Dubai, quarantine, and then come over here to the U.S. to meet Ella for the first time. So Johnny has concerns about coming over here to the U.S., to Dubai, because he doesn't want to bring the CV-19 home to his elderly mother and father, which whom he lives with, and he also doesn't want to catch it himself, and he doesn't want to give it to his son. So Ella is over here being, really selfish. She told Johnny that if he didn't go to Dubai, that their relationship was over with. Now, let me tell you, Ella has bought a ticket to Dubai, so she's dead set on Johnny coming to Dubai as well. So we'll see how that works out for Ella, because she said that if Johnny didn't come to Dubai, that their relationship would be over with. Now here's the thing, Ella, you must have forgotten that you've had your heart broken 1,000 times because of your weight. Now Johnny agreed to come over here and help you lose weight, and Johnny loves you. So you're about to talk yourself right up out of your man. So we'll see next week whether or not if Johnny actually goes to Dubai. to meet up with Ella. The next couple that I'm going to talk about today is Geno and Jasmine. Okay, you remember that Jasmine was really upset because Geno had sent naked pictures of her to his ex-girlfriend. So she's out on the beach. She's hysterically crying. I mean, not a tear dropped out of her eye. And Geno is back in the room. He's consumed 3 bottles of champagne, and he's actually sitting in the bed crying for real, because he's afraid that he has lost Jasmine forever. So Jasmine goes back in the room to talk to Geno, and she's like, okay, Geno, you want to put me on blast? You want to send someone naked pictures of me? She was like, well, how about I let everybody see your head? So if you remember, we have never seen Geno's head. Geno has always had a hat on. He's had a hat on even when he's laying in the bed. So Jasmine comes in the room and she snatches his hat off of his head. She said, if you want the world to see me, how about the world see your head? And when I tell you, that head was a sight for sore eyes to see. She snatched his hat off his head, and I was like, damn. Yo, Geno had a bald spot up here, a bald spot in the back, and then he had hair all around the perimeter. His head looked like Fire Marshal Bill. But anyway, Geno and Jasmine sit down and they decide that they are going to, go ahead and let bygones be bygones, and they were going to try to make the relationship work. But here's the thing. I cannot see how Jasmine could be so humiliated that he sent topless pictures to his ex-girlfriend when she's been prancing around this private island with a one-piece thong bathing suit on, okay? But she's embarrassed that he sent naked pictures to his ex-girlfriend. I think that if you remember Larissa, I think Jasmine is setting herself up for a fans-only page once she's no longer obligated to do this TV show. She's not fooling me, because you don't just go from being humiliated, hysterically crying, and then suddenly you forgive him and you decide that you want to continue in a relationship with them. Okay, Jasmine. So the next couple that we're going to talk about is Ben and Mahogany. Remember, Ben went over to Lima, Peru to meet up with Mahogany. She never showed up. So it's the next day, and Mahogany has agreed to meet with Ben at a restaurant. So a couple of hours pass by, and Mahogany is a no-show. But guess what? Mahogany shows up. Mahogany is a real person. So anyway, they sit down to eat. They're eating empanadas. They're both eating empanadas with a fork and a knife, which I found unusual. Mahogany does not appear to be Peruvian. Mahogany, to me, appears to be a Caucasian white woman. She has perfect English dialect, and her Spanish seems to be a fake accent. So I don't know whether if Mahogany is really from Peru or who Mahogany is. But anyway, after they eat, Ben embraces Mahogany, and he tells her that he loves her, and Mahogany does not say that she loves him back. She jumps in her car, and she leaves. So I really don't know where this relationship is going to go. The thing about it is that Mahogany doesn't follow Ben on social media. He doesn't follow her on social media. Her social media status is listed as single. Mahogany doesn't follow the show, nor does she follow either of the other castmates. So I'm still out to lunch as to whether Mahogany is actually a real person or not. The next couple that I am going to discuss is Hamza and Memphis. Memphis is over in Tunisia to marry Hamza. Hamza is shopping with his mother for wedding attire, and he expresses to his mother that Memphis wants a prenuptial agreement, and he feels like she doesn't trust him. But see, here's the thing, Memphis. I want to put you up on some game, okay? A prenup is a relationship. A prenup is an agreement between you and Hamza. Don't forget that when you filed for that K-1 visa, you also filled out an affidavit for support. Now, the prenup will be an agreement between you and Hamza, but that affidavit for support is an agreement between you and the government, and that affidavit for support supersedes any prenup that you are going to present to him. Now, let me tell you, you will be responsible for him until he gains his American citizenship. Either he dies, or he permanently leaves the country, or until he makes 10 years worth of wages. So you're going to be responsible for him regardless. But see, here's the thing. Memphis doesn't trust Hamza, but Memphis has a secret. She's been over here in the United States sleeping with her ex-husband. Now, she claims that it's a platonic relationship, which very well may be so. But she has not conveyed this to Hamza, okay? So, just look at the optics of this once Hamza does find out that you've been over here sleeping with your ex-husband. The next couple that I am going to review, and it's going to be the final review, is Mike and Hermana. If you remember the last episode, it left off with Mike saying that Hermana was acting a little bit different. So he planned a trip to go back to Colombia to see Hermana. Okay, he gets there, and Hermana does not meet him at the airport. Once he arrives at her house, the first thing she says to him when he sits down is that he smells like dog. He had tracked dog poop all in her house and all over the rug, but mind you, the rug he bought. So he takes his nasty sneakers and just puts them in the corner. And excuse me, Hermana is looking at him all disgusted. Her sister is in the room. She's looking at him all disgusted. So Hermana asked Mike, she was like, why are you here? I told you that I didn't want to see you until you paid for my breast augmentation and my plastic surgery. And he was like, well, I came over here because, you seem to be a little bit standoffish. And I just, came over here to see what's going on. So, Hermana decides that she wants to go out. And she asks Mike, does he want to accompany her to the club? So they go out to the club. And around midnight, Mike decides to leave because he had traveled over there. And the flight was a 12-hour flight, and he was tired. So Hermana stays at the club, and she doesn't come back home until 9 o'clock in the morning. And Mike asked her, where was she? And she was like, well, over here, we party, and then, we go out to breakfast, and that's what I did last night. So, I wouldn't be mad. I'm not a proponent of violence, but I would not be mad if Mike cut up everything in that house that he bought and snatched that ring off her finger because she's playing him. Okay, so this is the thing. Mike needs to take into consideration that one of her baby's daddies is in prison. Her other baby's daddy said that he was going to off her. Okay, so Hermana is about that life. Hermana had said in a confessional that she had a loan shark that had agreed to loan her money so that she could get her breast augmentation and her tummy tuck. So, Mike, I'm going to tell you where Hermana was last night. Okay, because she's about that life. Hermana was out tricking, trying to get paid, trying to get that money for that plastic surgery that you said that you wouldn't pay for. So I don't know how this is going to work out for you, but I really think that Hermana is playing you. Okay, I've covered all of the couples for this particular episode. That's it for my review. If you like my review, make sure that you hit that like button, comment, subscribe down below in the subscription box, and then make sure you hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified the next time that I upload a video. Until next time, Onna Harps. Bye!